Season 1 in Helsingborg is in full swing and things are going rather well. We've found ourselves a couple of star players and we're in the hunt for promotion. So let's go and take a look at how things have gone so far. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel on part 2 of my Build a Nation Sweden with Helsingborg. In this video we're going to have a recap of the first half of the first season that's going quite well so far. Before we get going, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to know when future videos are going to be released. Let's go and have a look at some transfers, shall we? We didn't have much money floating about the club, but I felt like we needed to bring in a couple of reinforcements. So we looked at the free transfer market and offered a load of players in on trial. They came in, we had a look at them. My main aim was to sign a right back and a left back, and I failed miserably, but we did bring in 3 players. The first of those was Florian Palmovski, our new sub-goalkeeper, 21-year-old German with no youth caps, but a load of potential. Kamal Issa was next, ball-winning midfielder, 30-year-old Ghanaian, getting on a little bit, but still got quite a bit of current ability, and we're not paying him much money, so it was worth taking the risk. And we still needed to strengthen a little bit in the midfield, so I brought in Lucas Kehed on loan from IFK Gothenburg. Ball-winning midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, Mazzala, 20-year-old, very, very good leading Super Ettan player, potentially Allsvenskan standard, and he looked to be our new best midfielder. But then I had to fit these players into a tactic, and because I failed to sign any fullbacks, I had to revert to a system with no fullbacks or wingbacks. My first thought was a 3-3-4 with 2 wide centre-backs. They would cover those fullback positions, hopefully. But then I looked, and Wilhelm Lopa is a defensive winger, so I went asymmetric. We went for what they call a 3-1-3-1-2. Asymmetric system with an attacking midfielder on the left, a defensive winger on the right. That was the system I was going to go with, and here was the team that I picked for the first game of the season. I changed a couple of roles up. I put Issa in as a box-to-box midfielder. I put Weberg in as a ball-playing defender in the middle. It was Jolson, Rogne, Weberg, Bernardo Villa, Vajic, Lopa, Issa, Carhead, Aqua, Musin and Lima up front as the advance forward on attack. We were going to play a custom fluid counter-attack. We were going to be slightly more direct. We were going to run at the defence. We were going to bring up the tempo. We were going to distribute the ball quickly. We were going to counter and counter-press. We were going to look to have a lower defensive line to stop players getting in behind us. We were going to go for the mid-block. We were going to press more often. We were going to get stuck in. And we were going to drop off more and allow players just to come forward, but don't commit ourselves too much and let them get in behind. Only problem was, it didn't really go to plan on the opening day. After a poor pre-season, we travelled to Östersund to open our league campaign and were 1-0 down within 20 minutes with Markland, a great volley. Jolson could do nothing about it. It was 2 shortly after when Nader's header was low at the bottom corner and Jolson pushed it onto the post and it was in. It was 2-0 and we were struggling. But we weren't giving in just yet. Lopa found Aqua who found the back of the net and it was 2-1. Problem is, Östersunds weren't giving up and Carlson Gratch made it 3-1 in the 51st minute. Musin's long ball over the top found Lima who found the back of the net in the top corner. It was 3-2, but we couldn't find the equaliser. And despite the fact that we had a higher XG and we had more shots on goal and more shots on target, we opened the season with a 3-2 defeat away to Östersund. It was Oster's IF at home in the next game and a poor goalless first half made way for a second half where Aqua found the top corner with a fantastic finish to put us 1-0 up. But we just couldn't pull away. And Osters got the equaliser with a header from Westermark and it was 1-1 and it was quite late in the game. But just a few minutes later, this happened. Vajic found Aqua outside the area. He burst in, puts the ball past the keeper, and it was our first victory of the season. It was our first 3 points, and we made our dominance pay with a 2-1 win over Osters. Amar Musin then found his goal-scoring boots with 4 goals in 3 games as we got victories over Örebro, Gais and Trelleborg to see out April and give Magnus Olsson the Manager of the Month award. Sometimes in Football Manager, when a manager wins a Manager of the Month, you lose your next game. Not us. We won 3-0 against Skövde to kick off May with goals from Aqua, Musin and Kamal Issa in the 95th minute. We were flying high and doing ever so well. We followed that up with a 3-0 victory over Jonkopings, and then we travelled to Utsikten, who were currently second in the table, and we smashed them 5-0. The first half was a little bit tight and a little bit tense, but Amin Al-Hamawi hit the back of the net from the penalty spot right on the stroke of half time, and then in the second half we blew them away. Aqua, 2 from Lopa, and Al-Hamawi hitting his second, and a 5-0 victory. We were top of the table and cruising at this point. But then we welcomed our local rivals Landskrona to the Olympia, and the wheels started to fall off. 9,517 fans crammed into our stadium, but our goalkeeper decided to give the ball away to Zabic, and he made it 1-0. A bit of poor defending allowed Ela through, and it was 2-0 in the 79th minute. And then with a few minutes left, the goalkeeper failed to keep out a header from Johnson, and it was 3-0. We then had Adam Hellborg sent off in the last minute, and things went from bad to worst. We had just been smashed 3-0 by our rivals, and they closed the gap on us at the top of the table. We travelled to Västerås in our next game and ended up with a 0-0 draw before we beat Eskilstuna 3-0. And it looked like things were back on track, but we haven't won a game since. Yeah, alright, we haven't lost a game since then either, but it's 3 draws in a row, and that to me is a downturn in form. We drew 0-0 with Sundsvall, 1-1 with Geffer and 1-1 with IK Braga. Amar Musin is the only player to have scored for us in the last 3 games, and we've only got 1 win in 6. If we're going to keep up our promotion push, we need to get back to winning ways, and we need to do it quickly. And as you can see, Landskrona are top of the table with 32 points from their 14 games. We are in second place, 4 points adrift, 8 wins, 4 draws and 2 defeats. A goal difference of plus 15. We've scored 25, conceded 10. We've got the best defensive record in the league, but we need to score more goals and we need to turn those draws into victories if we're going to keep up our promotion push. And as you can see, there is only 6 points between us and 6th place Gefler. So there are teams hot on our tails. So if we stop winning games and keep dropping points, that gap's going to close quickly. We're going to end up dropping down the table and our promotion push may be denied. And also, we're going to piss the fans off because they want us to finish above Landskrona. And as for how well the players are playing, I did say we'd found a couple of stars, and Benjamin Aqua is our highest rated player so far this season, a 7.49, 7 goals and 3 assists from 12 appearances, and he's a very, very good player. If we take a look at his attributes and his current rating, etc., his current ability as a 4-star player, a decent Allsvenskan player, playing in the second tier. His potential ability is 4.5 stars to be a good top flight player. He's only 22 years old. He's our permanent player. He's got a contract for another couple of years, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to build the side around players like Aqua. And at the minute, he's playing out of position really because he's accomplished as an attacking midfielder or as a central midfielder, and we've been playing him as an attacking midfielder on the left. So he's flexible, can play anywhere, and he's absolutely brilliant. Our second rated player is Kalle Jolson, the goalkeeper, 7.19 from his 14 games. He's kept 8 clean sheets, only conceded 10 goals, has the best defensive record in the league. He's 25 years old, he's a 4-star current ability, good Allsvenskan player. He could be a leading Allsvenskan player. So, another one who we're hoping to hold on to for a long time. His contract runs out at the end of next year, but we're hoping that we can come up to the top flight and build the team around players like Jolson and Aqua. Players that are already good enough to play top flight that are hopefully going to get us there quite quickly. And Amar Musin, on star rating, doesn't look to be that fantastic, but he scored 8 goals in 14 games. He's the only player to have scored for us in the last 3 games, like I said before. And he's got a 7.16 rating. He has dropped off a little bit. His rating is only about 6.8 in the last 5 games, so he does need to pick up his form, despite the fact that he's the only one that scored for us. 25-year-old, two-capped Iraqi international. Got a contract until December 2025. But I'm not quite sure he'll be good enough when we do go up. We'll have to wait and see. Well, if we do go up, that is. Bernardo Villa is the only loanee who has got above a 7 rating so far. I did say at the start of the season that I thought the loanees would be our star players, and it's proven not to be the case. Villa has played absolutely brilliant though. 25-year-old Brazilian, he's a decent top flight player so far, again playing in the second tier. But he's only on loan to us from Varnamo, so at the end of the season he's probably going to be off on his travels back to his club or off elsewhere to somebody else. He's got 7.14 rating from his 14 appearances so far and 1 assist. He's played very, very well. Has an 83% pass rate, 79% tackles won, and he's made 16 clearances in the game so far. And he's another reason why we have such a good defensive record. Then the other two players with above a 7 rating are Thomas Rogne and Wilhelm Loper with a 7.11 and a 7.08 respectively. Our best player recently though in the last 5 games is Loper. He has a 7.34 from his last 5 and he has been an exceptional player so far. Only problem with Loper is his contract's up in December and he wants to explore his options, so we may be without him if we do go up, or for a promotion push next season if we stay in this division. Going to try and keep him. I am going to offer him a new contract, but it's up to him whether or not he stays or goes. We have a little look at our club vision. The Board have given us a B rating so far. They're very pleased to be on course to reach a Super 8 and playoff earlier than expected. They're happy with the finances involved in the deal to loan out Ervin Gigovic, who has just gone out on loan. He's a youngster that hasn't really played for us. And the Board are pleased that the team is challenging for promotion from the Super 8 this season. However, they still only expect the team to end up reaching the playoffs. So they haven't raised their expectations. They have nothing of particular interest to highlight in regards criticism, but we've only still got a B rating. We're on course to work within our wage budget, despite the fact that we are £800 over at the minute. I think we're on course because the players that are on loan will end up going out and then the wage budget drops again. They're pleased that we're on course to record a Super 8 and top half finish, but they're reserving judgment over the Cup because it hasn't started yet. As for the supporters, overall the supporters could not be happier with the job we are doing. An A+ rating. Their supporter culture is to strive to make progress on and off the pitch, and we're doing that. We're keeping them happy. The supporters are jubilant that the team are in the Super 8 and promotion race. However, they still only expect us to reach the playoff as well. They're pleased with the decision to send Amin Al-Hamawi out on loan because he needs to get better. And they're pleased with the decision to send Ervin Gigovic out on loan as well, who's another youngster who needs to be improved. But they're disappointed with Kamal Issa and they're disappointed with Lucas Lima. So am I, fans. So am I. They're reserving judgment because we haven't played Malmo yet. They're disappointed that they want us to finish above Landskrona in the league, and currently Landskrona are in first, we're in second. Hopefully we can turn that around by the end of the season and make them happy. We haven't played IFK Gothenburg yet, so they haven't made a judgment on that. But they're delighted that we're on course to record a Super 8 and top half finish. So, the Board are happy. The supporters are happy. I'm fairly happy. Magnus is over the moon and is enjoying life at Helsingborg. And hopefully we can keep up this promotion push and get there a lot quicker than I hoped for. So, the Board are happy. The supporters are happy. I'm happy. Magnus is over the moon. And the players are quite enjoying life as well. Team cohesion is average, the club atmosphere is very good, and my managerial support, or Magnus's managerial support, is average at the minute. He's got a strong influence over a number of players and has a good reputation when compared with the players. But he's doing a fine, if unspectacular job of leading the club at the minute. One issue there is, though, is that the top influencers in the team leaders, Andreas Landgren and Rasmus Johnson, are quite old, they're not very good, and they're on quite a bit of money. But we can't get rid of them, because if we get rid of them, it would affect the dynamics completely. Because as you can see in the hierarchy, Landgren and Johnson are the only team leaders at the club. And it says over on Hans Eklund's feedback, Andreas Landgren and Rasmus Johnson are both approaching the end of their careers, and should they retire soon, we will sorely miss their leadership. We're lacking a good number of highly influential players in the squad. We should look to recruit more leading players to offer greater balance within the squad. Thomas Rogne and Berkfeldt, I can't remember his first name, are our captain and vice-captain. Berkfeldt has only just come back from a long-term injury, and I think he's only played once for us. Rogne has been absolutely phenomenal all season. But other than that, a couple of those influential players need to step up to the plate and move up to become highly influential or team leaders as we go along, because we need that leadership. And I need to really get rid of Langren and Johnson pretty soon, because like I said, they're on quite a bit of money and they're not very good. They're not really going to play. So I do need some more team leaders to get rid of the older players that are not very good and are not going to play but are going to take up most of my wage budget. Right, so as you can see, things are going pretty well. We're exceeding expectations. We're on course to reach the playoffs a season earlier than expected, and we should finish top half quite comfortably, but the wheels could fall off dramatically. Our form could fall off of a cliff and we could drop down the table and it could all go tits up. But I'm hoping to get back to winning ways soon. We've only won 1 in 6 and it's starting to get a little bit worrying, but hopefully we can turn that round, get back to winning ways and continue to challenge at the top of the table. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please do smash the like button. Like I said before, it all helps the channel to grow. It helps more people get to see this video and hopefully join in for the ride, which is going to be a very, very long ride as we attempt to build a nation in Sweden. Thank you again for watching. I hope you join me again next time. Until then, bye-bye for now.